quite big.
Oh my god! Wow!
Holy, look at all this damage!
挙式紫
So this number is the damage cap, the literal maximum amount of damage any character can do. The achievement cannot go higher than this. But then, how much damage did my Qingque actually do? Well, we can calculate that. Since we have the crit damage, we can use the basic formula for a critical hit and plug in how much Qingque would do on a non-critical hit, which comes out to around 18 million damage. We plug that number into here and we get 210 billion damage. Now that my Qingque is capable of dealing damage equal to Asa's net worth, it's safe to say that
Are you sure about that?
Okay, let's step back a bit. How do we get here? Well, this golden gear strategy is fairly simple, but not at all practical. The goal is to get as many cosmic fragments as possible in order to use them through a Curio's cavity system model or a Robe of Beauty, which transforms your cosmic fragments into crit damage or damage respectively. Now getting this enormous amount of fragments is accomplished through having these 3 curios and using this dice. These 2 curios greatly increase how many fragments you get overall, and this curio is the backbone of the strategy, since it ties into the dice face reforge, which allows you to reobtain a curio. This combination allows you to basically double the amount of fragments you have every time you roll Coin of Discord, so it can increase up pretty quickly. The other dice faces allow you to duplicate tiles that are useful, such as cognition and occurrence, as well as discard unwanted curios you get from beating bosses. And then, once you have enough fragments, you can either convert them or obtain this curio. In my opinion, converting them is better since you can activate the passive of the dice, since the cavity system model counts as spending fragments. However, it's much harder to use because once you obtain the cavity system model, you have no more fragments and you can't double up anymore. If you get the Robe of Beauty, then you still have a chance to double up until the end, so it's much more reliable overall. Now while this strategy is simple, there are layers and layers of RNG that make it pretty hard to use. This attempt took me 3 hours of grinding since you have to get specific curios, specific occurrences, and the correct dice rolls and cheats. So I started off in World 1 since I was doing this a lot of times and I didn't want my characters to just randomly die on a hard enemy. I wanted to start off building cheats and dice rolls, and these curios are what you're looking for, but taking the cheat chance is always the most reliable option. Luckily, I managed to get the dice rolls, so the next step is fishing for a silver coin and Qingque Part 2. Qingque Part 2 can only occur once Qingque Part 1 has been done, but the neat part is that you can do Qingque Part 1 in a previous run, end the run, and then only Qingque Part 2 can show up in the future runs. So I did that beforehand. Another tricky part about Qingque Part 2 is that in order to get this effect to activate, your cognition needs to be greater than or equal to 0, which is kind of annoying since cognition randomly changes once per plane. In this run, my cognition tile was ahead of my occurrences, so I was able to mitigate the random chance. I got super lucky and was able to get both Qingque Part 2 and silver coin within one occurrence. Since Reforge picks 3 curios out of all the curios you have, you need to have only these 3 at all times to maximize your chance of rerolling the coin. So after beating the boss, I made sure to get rid of the extra curios as fast as possible before re-rolling. Now that I got the necessary curios, I no longer needed occurrence domains. Instead, it looked to duplicate cognition domains to get more cheats and more dice rolls. I want to save my rolls whenever possible, so I mainly looked for these 3 faces, and rolled the dice whenever discard curio faces came up, since I had no curios I wanted to get rid of. So now that I have everything, cue the montage. After beating the boss in Zone 2, it was time to look for either Robe of Beauty or Cavity System. I failed to get either when beating the boss, which left me with an unwanted curio. I could either hope to discard or re-roll, but since I'm now actively looking for more curios, I chose to reroll the coin while the chance is still high, and lo and behold, it appeared. I entered the adventure domain, hoping to now get either a robe or cavity, but it didn't happen. Things were looking pretty rough. The smart play would be to duplicate the reward domain twice to have a better chance of getting the needed curio. But the voice in my head said, you can get 6 million fragments. So I went for it. In a pool of 5 curios, I was unable to get the silver coin to appear again. And with no other options, I entered the reward domain. And then there it was, the Knights of Beauty. The run was alive. And Qingque seeked blood. The occurrence domain was next, and since I had already gotten all the pieces of the strategy, I decided to rain terror on this poor enemy to see if I could get any useful curios.
Whoa! This is worthless.
So things were looking pretty good, and I ended up doing some testing as you saw at the start of the video. Now the funny thing is that no matter who I put here, they will always do 2 billion damage if they crit their normal attack.
Evil doer.
Even my Ronmei, who has no relics, landed a critical hit and it did 2 billion damage. Unfortunately, these were all the characters I could fit in this run. I also would have wanted to try out Dragon Danheng because his normal attack multiplier is probably the highest in the game, and then Physical Trailblazer because Bat is funny. So yeah, Golden Gears. 10 out of 10 would break the damage counter again. If you enjoyed, be sure to like and subscribe for more, and give it a shot if you want to break the damage counter as well. Be warned, it does take a really long time to get the correct things, so it's up to you if you want to do it. Anyways, thanks for watching. Take care, everybody.